I think I might be back. Quite literally everything shut down. Like, I mean, like everything. Like all of the programs just closed at once. I would scroll over like an icon and it would turn black. Like I don't know what happened. I just reset everything and just said, you know what? Sometimes that happens, you know? Mix It Up is booting up right now. So we'll give that some time. There we are. Technically, technically, this means you can get your pebbles back. You can get daily pebbles. Oh, also, apparently, I got a YouTube short thing. Someone commented on my YouTube short. That's nice. It was probably the one from yesterday, if we're being real. 12 seconds later. Why is my model doing that? Wait. That is concerning. Why is it doing that? See if I can. Why do you keep doing that? Excuse you. Why do you keep doing that? I'm turning the opposite way. I get distracted. What did I miss? I'm trying to figure out what the heck even happened. I'm currently pulling everything back up. I mean, worst comes to worst, I can just put on the PNG, but like, I don't like this. Like, if I turn too far to the right, it thinks I'm looking to the left, which is so weird. I don't even know what to say. This time it wasn't even OBS. I think it was just my computer. Should be fine. We're running cool. Here, let me open up Task Manager, see what's going on. Let me go to settings real quick. Hmm. Yeah, I think I might have to put on the thing. I'm gonna have to go down to PNG mode, and I don't know why, and I don't understand why. But you know, sometimes that's you just gotta roll. You just gotta roll with it. You know. There we go. Move that over. There we go. This is why we have the PNG tubers. So that way, if the live 2D ones glitch out, we know what to work with. You know. Can I request snail or stock? I don't believe I have a snail. I mean I have a snail, but I don't have a snail PNG. I can absolutely get you a stock though. Need to go to Fujitech. I honestly need to. I technically have a snail. I just don't have the PNG tuber version of it, and I could commission one, but I don't have a snail. There we go. Now we stock. Now we sock. Now I can be extra not flavored. Because I'll be real, if your socks are flavored, there's something wrong with you. There is something, like, legitimately wrong with you. Where? There it is. First one in the list. Now, we are going to have to rush through to get us back to where we were. But I think we can do it. Rock puppet. Actually, we have the autosave feature. You missed everything breaking. You can clearly see that if the envelope is not opened correctly, a powerful spring-loaded blade will shoot forth, leaving a horrible gash upon the blade. This time it wasn't internet problems. This time it was literally just programs all deciding to the programs unionized against me, I guess. I thought you'd be. I did. It's not a regular. It's not like an internet issue this time, because the internet was constant the whole time. It's just that all of my programs shut off at the same time and then refused to open back up. That's not on me. That's legitimately not on me. You cannot hold that against me. The silly sock of motherfucking Twitch. The only one who could have been told of the correct way to open it was Constance Court. Bro, that's sad. I know, right? You really want to see my script that bad? Well, you better watch out. Read it without my permission, and you'll wish you hadn't. Yikes. Miriam wasn't kidding when she said that. The blood on the blade is the witnesses. Our genius here tried to sneak a peek at the wrong script and paid for his foolishness. Ouch! That's the worst genius I've ever seen. Don't worry, Athena. The wound isn't deep. We've still got the wire theory. Yeah, I've got it. Since the blood by the window overlooking the maintenance area isn't the victim's, There's no longer any basis for denying that the body was moved using the wire and banner. Therefore, the defense once again asserts just that. Not again. You call yourself a lawyer. Don't you see a glaring contradiction in your thinking? Huh? Thinking. The court would like to remind the witness that its role is not to point out. And you! How can you adhere to such outdated beliefs? Or whatever. Seems you've forgotten the two statues were on stage directly below the wire. Body sent sliding down the wire would have crashed into them. Care to explain? Why, I believe he's right. To the statue and the wire are extremely close together. So the body would have collided with the statues? What if they did collide? Wait, that's just it! Speaking of those statues, we still don't know how they were broken. But if we assume the body crashed into them, that would also explain the loud sound that was heard when we were in the waiting room. Oh, now that you mention it, you and Mr. Wright went out on stage after you heard the sound, correct? You call yourself a lawyer. You bought your test scores! Exactly! You bought your way into law school and have had to continue buying your way you're treating your law degree like the fucking battle pass. You can't be doing that.
Objection!
Interesting. Oh, very interesting, but may I ask you one question? When was it you heard that sound? It was a little after the mock trial started. Mr. Wright and I were practically bored to tears when we were in the waiting room when... Precisely. If that sound you heard did happen while the body was being moved, that would place it during the mock trial. Which means the body wouldn't have been there before the mock trial started! You see, right before the mock trial started, I saw the body. He said he saw the body before the mock trial. If so, then my claim that the body wasn't moved during the mock trial doesn't hold water! Stupid contradictions are gonna get our case killed! The focus on just 3 suspects because the body was moved before the mock trial. That has been a major premise thus far. Your assertion, therefore, contradicts the very foundation of this case!
Objection!
Both sides still lack incontrovertible evidence. So shall we not also treat Golden Boy's testimony with a level of suspicion? Good point. Prosecutor Blackquill is on our side? Bet he's figured out the truth behind the case. Oh great, as long as he's not up to something else. If the statues really were broken when the body hit them, then Hugh's statement about seeing the body before the mock trial is a big fat lie! Okay, Mr. O'Connor, let's get to the bottom of this contradiction about when you saw the body. Look me straight in the eye and repeat your statement to me. Like I said before the mock trial, the body was, you know... I shall only say this once, Golden Boy. You had best tell the truth, and do it now. That is, if you would like to keep that head of yours. Yikes! Man, I'll hear about this again, Zooks. Now out with it. Did you truly witness the body? Or were you just lying about it? Well, which is it? You what? You what? I never saw the body. Are you sure about that? Lie to this court again and I'll charge you with perjury. There was no body on stage. I've been lying about that this whole time. I'm sorry. Yes! We've exposed Hugh's big lie for what it is! But why would he lie about this to begin with? Order! The base premise that the body was moved before the mock trial has been overturned. I imagine this has an impact on both defense and prosecution's case. Well, first I'd like to thank the prosecutor. This brings us one step closer to the truth! Now at least we know the body was moved using the wire and school banner. Indeed. That much I shall concede, Sykes-Dono. The body was moved, as you stated, and in the midst of the mock trial. So both sides are satisfied, then. If the body was moved before mock trial, we have our 3 suspects. But if the move took place in the midst of the mock trial, it's a completely different story. Right? All 3 suspects were in the mock trial. That gives them solid alibis.
Objection!
How simplistic. Do you forget about the student in charge of the audio? Amidst the mock trial, she was the one soul who could leave and re-enter the lecture hall. What's this? Who is this person in charge of the audio? Oh no, how could I forget? It was... Hey, what's the deal here? Why is Junie so large in the shot? Juniper was also in charge of the audio. When she wasn't in trial, she was in the audio control room, dealing with the music. Indeed. The one who could enter the art room amidst the mock trial to move the body was none other than the accused, Juniper Wood, for she was in charge of the audio! No! Why, yes, I see. It does make perfect sense. This can't be happening. Instead of exposing Hugh's crimes, Junie's in even deeper. No matter how you slice it, we're cooked. Here I thought Prosecutor Blackwell was on our side, at least on this issue. The Twisted Samurai strikes again. Twisted? More like dirty rotten. Your boldness. It's time for you to put an end to this farce. The prosecution has presented quite a convincing case. But the defense has one last chance to voice any remaining objections. Well, Miss Sykes? Apollo, what are we gonna do? I've got nothing left! Nothing! Nada! Niente! I've been trying to think of something, but I'm drawing a big blank too. Poor Junie. Unless we figure something out, she'll be... Objection? Well, I object to... Huh? 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 Stop right there! All ears to me! It's time you heard the truth of the rare genius of Hugh O'Connor. Listen and you will hear the secret behind the perfect crime! Perfect crime?! Wait, this is some serious deja vu. Didn't we just go through something like this yesterday? Yes, we did. We better not have another one of these enraging traps. The murder, the moving of the body, the cover-up. It all sprung from my brilliant mind. Well, go ahead. Arrest me. The real killer's right before you. Order! Order, I say! Mr. O'Connor! You already confessed yesterday, then earlier today recanted your confession! As if you mouth breathers could comprehend my genius. The ends justify the means. Now bow down and kneel! Kneel before my great maddening intellect!
Objection!
Enough. The only thing maddening in the ignominy you bear for all to see. For it is impossible for you to have been the perpetrator behind this crime. There's no perfect crime, only a perfect alibi, for you were at the mock trial. And it is silly that I must remind you of this, but you were a participant the entire time. There shall be no mercy if you persist in hindering this trial with your silly little act. Hugh doesn't seem the least bit shaken by Blackwell's threat. Listen, Mr. Prosecutor, calling that a perfect alibi is beyond contempt. Your Honor, I'd like to take this opportunity to offer further testimony. I will now demonstrate the very moment of genius that transcended even perfection. Witness testimony. Hugh's confession. Birdley's lost it. Birdley's lost it. They're not being... They're doing their best. You won't believe this, but I used a body double. It wasn't the real me at the mock trial. That means I didn't almost lose. My body double almost did. I slipped out stealthily while my double took care of the trial. I had to run off the campus. In short, I'm the killer. Juniper's innocent. Yeah, I already know. I already know what this is gonna be. I have a question I was hoping the defense and prosecution might help answer. Is it just me, or does this witness's testimony make no sense at all? No, it's not just you, Your Honor. All I got from listening to that was a headache. Yeah, that was just plain weird. Especially with the whole thing about a body double. Well, I'm relieved it's not just... And the prosecution? Your boldness. Summon an ambulance this instant. The witness is stark-raving mad. Yes, I think it would be for the best. Now then, let's pretend that never happened and move on to my verdict. Hold it! You people don't believe me? It's not a matter of not believing you. It's more along the lines of questioning your sanity. Yeah, the funny farm just called. They want their genius back. No shit, Herlock. Shut your pie holes! The intellect of a genius transcends even logic! Besides, don't you guys have a weird device for testimony like this?
Objection!
Widget's not a weird device, and I don't waste him on ridiculous testimonies! Easy there, Tiger. Think of it this way. We don't want a verdict to be passed just yet. How about we give Widget a try? Well, this is against my better judgment, but I'd like to conduct a short therapy session. Your better judgment? I'm a judge, and it's far beyond mine, and I find it hard to say no. Prosecutor Blackwell, I trust you have no objections. Prosecutor Blackwell? Holy shit, where did he go? Where did he go? The prosecutor said rubbish. We will be out on a stroll and then left with Detective Fulbright. How does he get away with stuff like that? Then I'll interpret that as the meaning he has no explicit objections. All right, Miss Sykes, you may proceed with your therapy session. I've seen my share of crazy trials, but this one takes the cake. A short therapy session? You're gonna need more than a short session. Come on, Widget! Huh? Whoa! You won't believe this, but I used a body double! That wasn't the real me at the mock trial! That means I didn't almost lose, my body double did! I slipped out stealthily while my double took care of the trial! I had to run off campus. In short, I'm the killer. Juniper's innocent! I don't get it. His confession is overflowing with happiness. Maybe he enjoys thinking about us mouth breathers can't comprehend his genius? It's a good perch. He seems to take an insane level of delight in his confession. Even a normal level of delight would be weird for a confession. Then again, he's not what I'd call normal. Hugh, why are you confessing? Who is this really for? I feel like that's the key of this out-of-control emotion. You won't believe this, but I used a body double. That wasn't the real me in the mock trial. Slipped out stealthily while my double took care of the trial. I had the run of the campus. In short, I'm the killer. Juniper's innocent. I have it on the TV. My dad came and was like, what at that testimony, right? It makes no sense. It's like, there's no way.
Got it.
Yeah, because this doesn't seem like something you'd be happy about. Mr. O'Connor, is this what you're happy about? Happy? What are you talking about? I'm confessing to a murder. To call the grief I feel at the sincerity of the crime happiness is beyond insanity beyond mine.
Got it.
You're happy that she'll be okay. Mr. O'Connor, yesterday you said that you didn't really care about Miss Woods anymore. I already told Juniper, so I might as well tell you I don't really care about her anymore. Why? Oh yeah, well, Juniper reported my secret to Professor Court. His secret? Oh, right, the bride. She wanted nothing to do with me because I disappointed her. That's why I don't care about her anymore. I was never trying to protect her. My confession was always about one thing and one thing only. The truth.
Objection!
Mr. O'Connor, you feel great happiness in the fact that you might have helped set Miss Woods free. So much so that it overshadows all of your other emotions. What are you... I can hear it clearly now, Mr. O'Connor, the discord you've been trying to suppress. People don't normally feel like you do when you've confessed. So Hugh really is trying to protect Juniper. Yeah, I'm sure of it. Hugh's feelings for her are the real deal. 90%. That means his confession is... Finally figured out the obvious, have we? Hey! Why, Prosecutor Blackquill, you're back! The confession was naught but lies, save for a part about being in the mock trial. Can we all agree now that the killer is the one in charge of the audio, i.e. the accused? Why couldn't you have taken a longer stroll? No, you haven't unraveled the genius of my body double trick! You can't be serious. Do you really expect us to believe you had a body double? Yes, I do, but if you think I didn't, then prove it! Edgelord is back from his smoke break. Yeah, his legally mandated smoke break. I thought that was a cat on his shoulder. Honestly, I'd be down to have like a cat on someone's shoulder as like a prosecutor. I think that'd be sick as heck. Let's go with the least worst choice. Let me update his testimony. You won't believe this, but I used a body double. Shock and happiness. That wasn't the real me at the mock trial. That means I didn't almost lose. My body double did. Got it! Yeah, you should feel happiness, but you don't. Why is Mr. Hat on Apollo's backpack when Athena looks at him? Why is Athena wearing a school uniform? I've been changing the characters' uniforms every time that we go in, just because I'm like, yeah, we're at a school, let's put everybody in their school uniform. I didn't almost lose, you say. You exhibited happiness the entire time except during that statement. You don't know when to give up. Wait, now that I think about it. No, don't stop making stuff up. When I left the lecture hall, it was during Professor Mean's pretrial speech. That's when I moved the body, and then I slipped back in just before the verdict. So you're trying to say that you were there the moment your double was about to lose? I was! Naturally, I wasn't happy when I saw it. In any case, I was on the far end of the lecture hall behind the screen. I figured no one would see me if I came in and went through the doors there. Objection! Sykes-Dona, how much longer will you indulge him in the charade? While it's true that none of the audience might see him go through those doors, the faculty seats on the balcony are a different story and have splendid view. I thought you could do better than that. The lawyer's bench is on the right side, facing the front of the hall. I used the door on the right side near the lawyer's bench. That means my movements were only visible to somebody on the left balcony. But that seat was empty at the time, which is only natural. After all, it belonged to Professor Court, and as we all know, she's already dead by then. That can't be right. The empty balcony seat on the left side contradicts this piece of evidence. Which, if I'm not mistaken, is the fact that that's Professor Means. He's truly insane. That's why we're having therapy right now.
Take that!
I have no idea where this contradiction is going, but I don't have any other moves on this point. Guess I'll just have to follow it and see where it takes me. You said the left balcony seat was empty, but was it really? I saw it with my own eyes! Definitely empty! But what about this diagram? According to this, Professor Means was supposed to be seated on the left balcony seat. But if you left the lecture hall during the pretrial speech, he would have been standing there at his seat addressing the student and faculty. No, this can't be right! You do no one favors by exposing the falsities of his confession. I don't play a lie so far, but this part is true, I tell you! There was nobody in the left balcony seat! You gotta believe me! Doesn't seem like he's lying this time. Okay, Mr. O'Connor, let's have you testify again, but this time don't spare the details. I got it! I'll repeat it as many times as you like! I mean, my ingenious escape acts weren't repeating, considering I'm the real killer. All I really care about is whether that seat was empty or not! The second floor was deserted.
Got it!
Inconsistent with the oh. It's true, I tell you.
Got it!
Without anyone noticing. Then all I had to do was go through the empty audio control room. Why would you be sad at- wait, why would you be sad about that?
Got it!
I detected powerful sadness and fear right after you said that part. As if you said something you shouldn't have. What's wrong with you? You shouldn't reveal a person's inner feelings for all to see! Mr. O'Connor, it's you who's revealing your inner emotions by the way that you speak. Plus, I have a good idea about why you're feeling sad. You're a horrible person! Can't you just leave me be? You said you went through the empty audio control room. That's not true, is it? There was someone who returned from there once Professor Means finished his speech. And that someone who was in the audio control room was... So it can't be Juniper. Or maybe it can. Wait. Was it Juniper? Can't be Juniper, right? Like, part of me wants to say it's Means. Because that's why they're sad. Like, they're sad that, like, they got caught sneaking out. We're gonna go with Juniper, because if it's not that, I don't mind. I haven't lost anything yet.
Take that!
I know you realized there was a problem with your statement when you were saying it. The audio control room really was empty. That would mean that Miss Woods was roaming around the campus. Mr. O'Connor, if you really want to protect Miss Woods, just tell the truth. Maybe say, if you believe in her, revealing the truth is the same as protecting her. Juniper's innocent, that's the truth. But in the dark age of the law, the truth can easily be twisted to serve anyone's needs. When the ends justify the means, your only choice is to fight back with lies. Hugh's heart won't hold out under this battle between truth and lies. Is there something I can do to make recant his false testimony? I fear nothing now that I have lost everything. Go ahead, Prosecutor Blackwell, cut me down if you wish. I thought you'd never ask. With you gone, we may swiftly proceed with a verdict. He broke out of his shackles again! I don't want to be the poor accountant down at the detention center. Hugh O'Connor. In deference to your valor, I will limit your suffering with one clean blow.
Hold it!
Could you wait just a moment before you cut him down?
Silence.
Excuse you? I never learned about this in law school. Careful, prosecutor. Remember that shocking experience you had last time? Very well, Golden Boy, let me live. For now. Enough already, Mr. O'Connor. Miss Woods would never want you to protect her this way. She values the friendship between the three of you more than anything. That's where you're wrong. She doesn't feel anything for me now. What does that matter anymore? I might as well tell you everything. This is no doubt news to you, but I'm not and never was a genius. Sorry, but I already knew. Me too. And don't forget about me, though in all fairness, it was pretty obvious. I thought he was a genius at first, but... Ugh, no need to rub it in, just shut up and listen! It all started several days ago. I accidentally learned that my parents been paying good money for my grades. But that's bribery. He's even more like Birdley, right? So the bribery wasn't Hugh's idea. All my perfect scores were the product of cold hard cash. Not genius. Even worse, when I confronted my parents about it over the phone. Juniper overheard me. Oh my, what a terrible misunderstanding. I've been living a lie. I don't know what else there is to say. I'm no genius. I'm completely worthless. A perfect 0. His parents were doing it. It wasn't even him having them do it. It was their idea. Because they wanted him to be perfect. They wanted to brag to people around that they had a perfect son. He's a fraud and not by his own doing. That's so fucking sad. He wanted to get somewhere fair and square. And he never got the opportunity. Even so, I still wanted to make it up to Juniper for disappointing her like that. That's why I wanted to clear her name by pinning the blame on me. I mean, she probably hates me now. Be a relief to see me gone. If you're trying to help her, then why did you testify against her? You were the ones who told me to tell the truth. So I thought if I did, it would help her. He wasn't trying to provoke us. It looks like we seriously misunderstood him. Send his parents to Guantanamo Bay. Maybe, hold up, easy, maybe not there. At the detention center yesterday, Junie was in tears when she opened up to me, but the truth is the friendship between the three of them is still rock solid. If there was something that could help me prove that to Hugh. We have proof of our friendship. His parents need to be sent to the gulag. He probably thought he was doing well. That's the worst part. He probably thought he was doing awesome. As long as our friendship lasts, we can bet we'll be carrying them around. I know. What about the proof of friendship they mentioned? Wonder where or what it is. Didn't buy it. It's handmade, and there's only one like it in the world. Maybe it's... No, that's definitely it. That band around his neck. Mr. O'Connor? That band around your neck, that's your proof of friendship, isn't it? Proof of friendship? Is that anything like a proof of purchase barcode? In court, evidence is everything. That's why the three friends created friendship bands. It's the evidence that proves their friendship. Oh, how very interesting, and chic. And if they have doubts about their friendship, they can look to the proof they have on hand. That's why Mr. O'Connor's hand always goes to his neck when he's pressured. It proves he still has feelings for his friends towards those two. Doesn't matter if I wear it if those two.
Objection!
But they feel the same way too. I know they wear their friendship bands somewhere. Junie and Robin must both feel the same as Hugh. I just know it! Everything Hugh has said leads me to believe that. In fact, he may have also just told me the others wear their proof of friendship. Where they're hard to spot. They must wear them in places that are difficult to see. Really? And where might they be? Around the belly button. That would be hard to see. How could they wear friendship bands there? Right. Right, you're wrong. I'm happy that they're giving me a chance here, because, like, they're easy to touch. That's a good one. All we have to do is think back to the testimonies. Ready? Miss Newman holds her arm when pressured. Holds their... And Miss Woods holds her wrist. I know Miss Woods very well. She would never abandon her friendship with you over something like this. And taking the blame for her will only succeed in making her terribly sad.
Robin, those bands of friendship that you made, just for the three of us. You may have forgotten about them, but not me.
Hugh!
Ah.
Oh.
Hey, Hugh!
Oh, my heart!
I should have known better than to doubt my best friends.
Oh. I didn't kill anyone, and I didn't have a body double. I didn't move the body. I didn't even see it. And I may look like I'm speed reading. Then in the art of mastering the bar exam. But I haven't read a single word. Well, you could have fooled me. In fact, you kinda did. You. So, Miss Sykes, can I place my trust in you? Cute. Aw, quick question. Uh-huh. I'm gonna save Junie, so yes, you can place your trust in me. And am I to understand that the witness is recanting his confession? How did he get the choker on? I'm assuming there's like a hidden clasp. I'm assuming that's the case. Because otherwise, you know, I don't want to think about it. Because they're definitely like a hard like material. They're definitely like a you know, they're like a, I don't know, like a metal or a porcelain or something. Yes. Or maybe clay. No, they just put the wet clay around his neck and they shoved his head into the firing kiln. Most roundabout trial. I much prefer the turnabout variety myself. Now we're back to the fact that there was but one suspect who lacked an alibi, which is, in the end, the truth you've been seeking the entire time. So we're back to square one. No, we're not. Now I'm exhausted and depressed. Why the fuck would Means friend Junie? Probably because Junie is the only one of the students who wasn't, like, down to clown with his way of teaching. Because, like, Junie is very much, like they took after Professor Court the most. Basically being like, I don't believe that this is how, like, law should be done. We should seek the truth. Imagine him, the choker around his neck, turning it in the oven like rotisserie chicken. But why would they frame Junie? Because, unfortunately, they were the one student who wasn't, like, down to clown with their way of thinking. And so, you know, it would be the easiest person, you know. Also, sometimes you just need someone to frame. Sometimes you don't have a reason for framing a specific person. You just needed a way out, and that person happens to be the best one. You know? You don't need an alibi to frame someone if you've already murdered somebody, you know? Probably doesn't matter at this point, but I might as well update the mood matrix. Now there's still something left. Does this mean... Further resistance is futile. The time for verdict is nigh.
Objection!
Please wait. What sort of devilry are you up to now? What if our client wasn't the only one without an alibi? The trial would continue, right? Well, yes, I suppose it would. But after such a thorough investigation, does such a person really exist? Yes, we found someone. It may have seemed like a major roundabout. But Mr. O'Connor's testimony has cracked this case. There's no more noise. Hugh is telling the truth now. During the mock trial, the balcony seat opposite of him really was empty. Which means now, there's only one person who's unaccounted for. Bye-bye! Besides Junie, the only other person without an alibi during the mock trial was Professor Aristotle Means! The balcony seat was empty. That much is true, isn't it, Mr. O'Connor? That's right. How many more times do I have to say it? So basically, Professor Means wasn't where he was supposed to be during the mock trial.
Silence!
Need I remind you, every last soul in the lecture hall heard him deliver his speech.
Objection!
I know, and that's not in dispute here. Now let me explain how a speech could be given from an empty seat. It was pre-recorded. What if the speech was pre-recorded? That's the only way the speech could have been delivered from the empty balcony seat. Objection! Who is this? You? Wait, are you accusing Professor Means? That's insane! I mean, he's the one who gave me the tape recorder. Take this to the police, he said, and tell them you found it. What? Really? Wait a second! Mr. O'Connor, did you just say Professor Means gave you the phony recording to you? Phony? The defense will refrain from hurling unsubstantiated allegations. Well, I said they gave it to me, but what do you mean it's phony? Wow, who could have seen this development? Tape recorder updated. The voice shouting "You're a goner" is recorded on this tape. It was dubbed into it using a line our client said in the mock trial video. Like this is an extremely crucial piece of evidence. Professor Means gave Hugh the phony tape. If that really is true, that means Professor Means has guilt written all over him. Your Honor, the defense moves to call Professor Aristotle Means to the stand.
Silence!
Shh. That seat was never empty. 'Twas but an oversight by our dullard witness. An inmate who was formerly a surgeon once told me something. He said it's often all too easy to overlook critical symptoms.
Objection!
Well, we're not going to overlook this oversight! If the speech was pre-recorded, the basis for suspecting our client would be shattered! Let's check with Professor Means and see whether the empty seat was a witness oversight. A verdict without first looking into that would be inconceivable. That's enough, both of you! Now, here's my opinion on the matter. While the surgeon overlooking critical symptoms is a problem, a witness oversight too must not be overlooked. Thus, as to the matter of whether Professor Means was or was not in his faculty seat, I believe we must ask the professor himself. I agree. Professor Means should be here in the gallery today. Do as you please. Hi, Mr. Means. We're gonna see a lot of that smile from him. I don't like it. Inconceivable! You fell for one! You fell for one of the classic blunders! Never, never bet with your life when a Sicilian when death is on the line. Don't make a bet with a Sicilian when death is on the line. Falls to the floor. How did you know which one had hurricane power? Oh, I poisoned both of them. Will you please state your name and occupation for the court? Certainly. I am Aristotle Means. I teach the lawyer course at Themis Legal Academy. And let me add that while I welcome any opportunity to assist in the trial, I don't care for this undue suspicion. Don't worry, Professor. We're just interested in the mock trial video right now. We just need to take another look at the speech he gave. My favorite moment from The Princess Spy. Well, marriage. Marriage is what brings us together today. Marriage. Can we count on your cooperation in this? Very well. If that's all you're interested
Halfway
in.
to chug. Hydrate that lottle.
Please proceed, Miss Sykes. We need to find some sort of evidence that shows his speech was pre-recorded. Alright, I believe we're ready. Let's roll the video. I'd like to start by thanking you for coming here today. The mock trial, the crown jewel event of the school festival, will begin shortly. When I was a student, I too could hardly wait for the day to come. I've forgotten how long and boring his speech was. Make me up once this is over. Hey, no fair! The experiences of our youth have a powerful and profound effect on our adult. Ah, you there. Wake up. Pay attention. Huh? Ah, I'm awake. Isn't that right, Your Honor? Huh? What? I'm awake too. Wide awake, see? Our pure white Lady Justice will be watching over us today. That's it, because that's not a pure white Lady of Justice, that's a golden farce! You may make a difference one day. Now, let the mock trial begin. That's about it. One of my better speeches, if I do say so myself. I even saw some of our students in tears in their eyes. He's obviously not familiar with the phrase bored to tears. Listen, Sykes-Stono, if you have subjected me to this epic study in tedium without purpose, Taka will feast on your tongue after I've cut it out. You were asleep the whole time. Well, Miss Sykes, did you notice anything strange about the speech? I did. Thank you for the care package, by the way. I'm having some pepita seeds. Could I please hear the last part again? Our pure white Lady Justice will be watching over you today. Finally found what we needed. Professor Means, I have one question about your speech. Why does the last part we just heard contradict with this?
Take that!
The professor said the pure white Lady Justice would be watching over them. But the Lady Justice in this video isn't even close to being white. It's as gold can be. I'm not sure I can wrap my jaw around that to test its authenticity. That's good. That's funny. I didn't say it was made of gold, Your Honor, but it looks gold. There was a white Lady of Justice, but it broke before the mock trial began. And the one you see here is its replacement. Oh well, that's a shame on every count. Ironically, this golden statue sticks out like a sore thumb compared to the white one. Meaning the professor wouldn't have made the mistake in the color if he'd been present! It seems that I've caused some confusion, but it was merely an oversight on my part.
Objection!
The statue is in the middle of the room. How could you not know what it looked like? Well, I was in the balcony seat. Furthermore, the statue had previously been white. I'm afraid this isn't sufficient evidence in the speech being pre-recorded. We had our answer long ago. The accused was the only one to leave the lecture hall. No, wait! There's gotta be something that can prove that this speech was pre-recorded. According to the mock trial video, the speech started here and ended around here. It was a little over 10 minutes, but I doubt anyone wants to be tortured again. It was only a little over 10 minutes? It felt like it went on forever. How'd you figure out how long it was? Easy! There's a timestamp in the top right. All you have to do is subtract the time the speech started from the time that it ended. The speech goes from 10-minute mark to 20:35. Wait a second. I could swear I've seen the same interval of time listed among the evidence. Maybe there's a way for me to use the speech to show the pre-recorded time. Wait a minute, the voice print analysis!
Take that!
The exact amount of time! I would like the court to take a look at this. And this is the voice print analysis that proves the voice on the tape recorder belongs to our client. Yes, but didn't we just establish that the voice on the tape recorder was a fabrication? We did. But what I'd like to focus on is the noise that's also there. Also adds my arch nemesis, I shall wait. And I'll even go into the history to make sure that we don't lose anything. It's ad time, ad support the streamer. Always happy. Can I just say I'm happy, and none of you are going to be able to see this unless you have like a sub. But like, I'm happy I have a community that like understands the purpose of ads and isn't like, oh, how dare you play them? Because like, it means a lot to know that you guys are like more than willing to support me in that way. Where you're like, yeah, I can't support you monetarily, but I can use the tools at my disposal to make sure you're at least getting something. And that legitimately means the world. It means a lot to know that you guys are here, like, fostering a community where it's like, yeah, like, Term may not get to choose the ads, but the ads are important. The ads support, at least in a little bit, you know? Not many people can say that they have that, and I'm happy to know that I do. Bum 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 bum. I dislike ads, so I support the streamer with money. See? Look at that. That's how it works. What's even better, I offer multiple ways to do that. Fish! Alright, so, what you guys missed. I would like the court to take a look at this. And this is the voice print analysis that proves the voice on the tape belonged to our client. Yes, but didn't you just establish that the voice on the tape recorder was a fabrication? We did, but what I'd like to focus on is the noise that's also there. Noise? Noise? Yes, the defense believes it's a result of the tape's previous recording was erased. And what do you hope to prove by that? The length of the noise is what's important. It's 10 minutes and 35 seconds in all. And what did the timestamp read the moment Professor Means began his speech? That would be exactly 10? Now let's fast forward this long-winded exercise of boredom to the end. Okay, stop. The video timestamp now reads 2035. Based on this, we know that the time it took for the speech alone, right? Subtract 10 minutes and you get 10 minutes and 35 seconds. Right, 10 minutes and 35 seconds, the same as the noise on the tape recording. I assume you all understand what this means. Professor Means' pre-recorded speech has been there where the noise is now. I got freeze-dried cinnamon apples for a snack chat. Oh, hell yeah. I got pepita seeds. I got like little pumpkin seeds.
Silence!
You seem rather confident, assuming this is a mere happenstance match of numbers.
Objection!
But is it really just numbers? Let's continue in their study of the tape. So far, they found signs of overdubbing. But it's going to take a bit longer to recover the audio that was erased. The police are analyzing the noise as we speak. It won't be long until we know what was originally there. Look at us with our fall snacks. Hell yeah. We gotta stay on brand. And by on brand, I mean just having what's available. Now I'm sure of it. The professor was trying to create an alibi with the recording by pinning the crime on Junie. Well, he's not gonna get away with it. Not on my watch. Miss Sykes, I believe you are well aware of my methodology. Even if Juniper were the perpetrator, I would be vigorously defending her as per my word, and to that purpose I offered to be her lawyer. Alas, look what happened. All I've stated are obvious deductions derived from the evidence and testimony. Truth be told, I had no intention of testifying. I'd been keeping quiet for Juniper's sake. But now that you've cast this blame upon me, I have no choice but to reveal the truth. This doesn't sound good. I will now reveal the truth behind why I had pre-recorded my speech before the mock trial. I, Professor Mean, always say what I mean, and mean what I say, by all means. Professor Mean's testimony. The defendant came to me with what she said was very important and by necessity, secret. She asked me to pre-record my speech and come to the audio room during the mock trial. Juniper confessed to the murder and asked that I get her declared innocent in court. He also said I'd become an accomplice after losing my alibi due to the pre-recording. But when I said I would protect Juniper, I meant it, because it's a humane thing to do. Oh my, are you saying the defendant threatened you? This has to be a lie. I mean, everything about it lines up too perfectly to be true. On the most consequential of occasions, let me be completely frank with you. Juniper has truly taken to heart my teaching that states the end justifies the means. I don't believe you. When she asked me to defend her, she said I must also prove her two friends innocent. Her two friends? The witnesses? Correct. Hugh O'Connor and Robin Newman. I was to ensure all three were to walk free. All three were achieving their dream. That was the result that Juniper was seeking. And she was even willing to threaten me, her own professor, to that end. You've no doubt had high praise for her ruthless tactics. Yes, well, that is why I vowed to vigorously defend her, despite her threatening me. There was a time when lawyers merely sought the truth if they wished for victory in court. But alas, those days are over. And now, in the defense of justice, order, and all that is good, the ends justify the means. I'm so sick of hearing that phrase. Though it truly grieves me so, I must tell you this. Forsake the truth if the victory you seek. Steel yourself for this new courtroom reality. That does it. He's gonna regret dragging those dismal, depressing ideas in here. Since he's already surrendered to the dark age of the law, it's time for me to fight it. Why so silent, Sykes Dono? Something the matter? This is a court of law. It's no place for long-winded talks about idealistic principles. That's why I'm going to let the evidence do the talking. Let's not get carried away now, Miss Sykes. I will not do to have you attempting to discredit my doctrine. Do not force me to rectify this situation. No, go ahead and rectify it. Only if I lose and you win, that is. He really reminds me of Damon Gant. He really does. Professor Mean's testimony. The defendant came to me with what she said was very important and by necessity secret. She asked me to pre-record my speech and come to the audio room during the mock trial.
Hold it!
Are you suggesting it was our client who told you to fake an alibi? You have every reason to be surprised. I too was shocked when she told me that. Simply put, Juniper has a secret that she wished to protect. Earnest request from an outstanding student. How could I possibly have refused? If he gives you a headbutt, you will die because he's made of marble. Listen, I'm very hard-headed. Juniper confessed to the murder and asked that I declare her innocent in court. Meant humane thing to do. Juniper confessed to the murder. Did you consider that a threat? Yes, but it's now you to whom she has passed her demands to. Miss Sykes, you must realize that you too are an accomplice now. What? Your Honor, I ask that you too do not let her feigned innocence and weakness fool you. Juniper Woods is quite clever and extremely tough. And perhaps most important of all, she is a fervent follower of my teaching.
Objection!
Your Honor! The witness's testimony is nothing but an attack on my client's character! Very well, objection sustained. So be it. Nevertheless, the fact that she threatened me is immutable. Also said that I'd become an accomplice after losing my alibi due to the pre-recording.
Hold it!
Unk is ashy. He does not moisturize. He does not. Not a single day. How could you overlook such a threat? As a teacher, it's your duty to discipline students. Well, perhaps I do have some serious reflection to do on this matter. I suppose it was just wishful thinking on my part. I wanted to believe that Juniper hadn't actually committed murder and that she hadn't meant to threaten me. Really? Please do explain. Long had I waited for a student who would embody my teachings. Does the witness realize what he's saying? Surely you must see my true meaning of my words. I am merely saying true to what I teach, and my methods are but a reflection of the time. This way of thinking is really warped, but I haven't heard any inconsistencies yet. I wouldn't be so sure. Really? The more he tries to avoid logistical consistencies in his testimony, the more likely we'll see inconsistencies between action and motive. It is the dark age in which we live, and there is much I would like to say on the matter. When I said I would protect Juniper, I meant it because it's the humane thing to do. You were trying to protect our client? Yeah, right. He'll say anything to pin the blame on Junie. What a frightful look. I would ask you not to glare at me so. I have nothing but admiration for how Juniper was willing to go so far as to threaten me. That is why I'm protecting her by any means possible. She has been a model student. Liar! You're trying to pin the blame on her. How am I going to show that? What he's saying isn't what he's really thinking. Not possibly overturn my claims, so isn't it about time you admitted defeat? After all, if my unassailable logic is not truth, then what is? Thinks I'm gonna give him a pack of lies? He's got another thing coming. I'm gonna find a hole in his story if it's the last thing I do. Doubt your client would come to you with something like that. You have a point there. If only Professor Court had been alive, I suspect Juniper would have gone to her instead. So our client came to talk to you after Professor Court was dead? Let's go through this step by step, shall we? First, Juniper came to me that day. Did you consider that a threat?
Objection! Hold it!
How could you overlook such a threat? She also said I'd become an accomplice after losing my alibi due to the pre-recording. If that's the case, then why would you... Brother likes to play ball. If this is really the case, if you'd really be an accomplice and you were just trying to help, when I said I would protect Juniper, I meant it because it's the humane thing to do. I don't think that's true because you didn't protect Juniper, you sent her down the river.
Objection!
Yeah, you sent her down the fucking river, sir. Let me get this straight. You were trying to help Miss Woods? That's nothing more than a bald-faced lie. No offense, Your Honor. Such defamation of my character and your hair follicles. Your Honor, it is an outrage. Miss Sykes will clarify her statement, but leave my hair follicles out of it this time. Yes, of course, Your Honor. Now please take a look at this. The witness gave this tape to Mr. O'Connor. Then he slyly whispered, "Take this to the police and tell them you found it." There was no whispering, slyly, or otherwise involved. I simply did that out of kindness.
Objection!
That tape contained our client's voice. In short, it is incredibly damaging evidence. Why would it even exist if the witness wasn't trying to pin the murder on our client? Oh. They say the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but not yours. You never had good intentions, only lies to protect yourself while blaming another. You, Professor, are the embodiment of the dark age of the law. Why, you dare call my teachings and methods lies? Themis Legal Academy is a proud institution. It is the most powerful in the world. You'll never forget what true education in lawyering means once I'm through with you. Professor Means? What's with your hair? Quiet! No talking in class! Ah! Eyes and ears up here, everyone. Homeroom is now in session. We will begin with roll call. Athena Sykes. Huh? Oh, here. Apollo Justice. I'm fine. I'm here. Fool! The proper response is here, without any extraneous information. Here. Next, Your Honor. Here. C class, that's the proper way to answer. Simon Blackquill. I said Simon Blackquill. Are you here or not? My guy got a complexion. There's always one, isn't there? Well then, I'll just mark you absent. Now get out of my class this instant! Get out? Very well, if that's what you wish. Who am I to defy my homeroom teacher? Is that such a good idea? Professor Blackquill is free of his shackles! I just so happens I am a member of the high school's disciplinarian committee! What is that really so shocking? You get it? I made it funny. I made a joke. Constabulatory lapdog to teacher's pet. What a malleable mutt you are, fool bright. Very good, Bobby. You've just earned a gold star and a promotion to head disciplinarian. All right. Class is now in session. Why do you have the sudden urge to go to the nurse's office with a stomachache? Pay attention. I am not the killer. Juniper is. This will be on the next test, so you had better be listening.
Objection!
But Professor, you created the phony tape to pin the blame on Juniper! Plus, you were the only one who could have moved the body during the mock trial. Objection! Please note, I was not at school. Athena, you disappoint me so to think you would label me a murderer. Now pay attention, the murder occurred on the 23rd between 6 and 8 p.m. But I was already at home by that time, so how could I have been involved in the crime?
Objection!
Edward looks like someone at least 7 of my friends would simp over. Well, I mean, to be fair, Tumblr's a very big place. I wanted to write that in past tense, but I thought for a moment and I corrected myself. Tumblr is still a big place. It's actually bigger than it used to be. Professor Means, can you really prove you had already gone home by that time? Can you prove I was still at school? No, I can't. So you admit it. Well, you just earned extra credit for your honesty. But you've also earned yourself laboratory cleaning duties until you graduate! Yeah, I did enough of that in the office. Who? Ooms? No way, man! I have totally object! Robin? I can't believe I fell for the Professor's silver-tongued lie. We already know that he was there, by the way. I need you all to know, we don't need this. We can literally prove that he was there. We can literally prove it. Because he's in this photo at 6:01 p.m. and he's in this photo at 6:03 p.m. Well, I guess he could have been like, he did say, since the murder happened at like, when was the murder? Between 6 and 8? So like, there is a chance he could have left around that time, but like, you know. Why you, how dare you talk to a teacher like that? I'm not listening to you anymore, man! No way, no how! Now I have a confession to make! You know those 2 statues that were on stage? I didn't make them all by myself! The statues on stage? Do I know where this is heading? I was able to finish one of them, but the last bell rang before I had time to do the other one. So I asked Professor Means to make it for me. In other words, the professor was there on stage after the last bell. Right, and it would have been way past 7 p.m. before he could have finished. Professor Means was still at school. This is incredibly important testimony. The professor told me I'll take care of it. I thought my parents would let me be an artist if I said I made both statues myself. I'm so sorry for not telling the truth. Robin. Quick, somebody get a juvenile delinquent out of my sight! Simon, you're head honcho among the delinquents. Do something! And who's in charge of the class pet around here? Not interested, but if you want the class in swordsmanship, I'm your man. Of course, only real blades will do. No swords at school! All weapons will be confiscated! Nurse! Nurse! Where's the school nurse when you need one? It would seem Stono seeks a showdown, Professor. In which case you would do well to draw your staff. Quick as lightning. Very well, then I will have to prove my innocence myself! The real lesson begins on second period. Prepare to be served, old school style. What is that? Never mind. Testimony, please. Professor Means, the work of art. Now pay attention, Robin took over half the day to complete one statue. I, however, finished most of the other statue between 7 and 8:30 p.m. The defendant, Juniper, saw the 2 statues with her own eyes at 8:30. Completing a statue so quickly means that I could not leave the stage for a single second. How could I possibly have the time to go to the art room and commit murder? You're saying the defendant saw the finished statues? Precisely! She said so herself at the detention center yesterday. Her defense team was there and heard her say so. Don't try to deny it now. That evening I went back to the dressing room to get something I'd forgotten. It was well after the last bell rang, around 8:30. That's when I noticed both stage statues were finished. They were quite large and they were each covered with a white sheet, but I could tell. All right, Professor was there when the matter came up. Before I address the professor's charges, I have a question for Robin. How hard would it be to complete a statue like that in 1.5 hours? It would probably take me at least twice as LONG. So, personally, I think it would be incredibly difficult to finish it in that short of a time. He won't get off that easily. He's bound to stumble over his own slippery means. Professor Means' work of art. Now pay attention! Robin took over half a day to complete one statue! I, however, finished most of the other statue between 7 and 8:30. Now pay attention, Robin took over half a day to complete one statue. I, however, finished most of the other statue between 7 and most of it? Most of the other statue? What does that exactly mean? Robin created the basic outline of Mr. Wright's statue before the last bell rang. And I, in turn, completed the rest of it. I see, in academics as well as art, learning the basics is incredibly important. In short, you skipped the most important part of statue making, didn't you? Objection! Why, you insolent little! It is the practical application built upon the basics that takes so much time! Professors such as I mastered the basics a long time ago! Unlike Miss Fancy Pants there, who lacks all the lawyery fundamentals. Oh, quiet you. Now, do you understand? I did not leave that stage until I was done! Well, Miss Sykes, you accept the witness's claim. Not on your life, Buster. Not on your life. I don't. I know there's more to this, and I won't stop till the truth comes out. The more you struggle, the more you struggle, the more you sink, like illegal quicksand, so to speak. I used the world's ultimate technique to complete the statue by 11:30 p.m. Maybe our client only thought she saw the silence. A pity for you, but we've already confirmed it with the accused. He is on record of having seen both statues. Yeah, that's true. I just thought I'd give it a shot. I have the ultimate in courtroom techniques. It's absolutely airtight. All right. The boot, unfortunately, only works on the live model, and that thing broke earlier today. I will bury you. This is your final resting place, along with all who believe in you. Is there no way to get to this guy? You better pay attention. Completing a statue so quickly means that I couldn't leave the stage for a single second. Why are you in such a hurry? In the legal world, your body is your capital, and the early bird gets the worm. That's why I get to bed at 9 p.m. each and every night. And that's why I was working as fast as I could. I didn't want to miss my bedtime. Well, ready to concede that I never left the stage? Well, Miss Sykes, do you accept it? Not in your life, Buster. I don't. I know there's more to this. I won't stop until the truth comes out. Be careful, Athena. If you don't have anything, it's probably best to just grin and bear it for now until you can find something to nail him with. But, how could I possibly have the time to go to the art room and commit the murder? Him being so serious about saying, I don't want to miss my bedtime, really made me laugh. It's really good. But you could have taken a short break or something. Preposterous! I didn't even have 10 minutes to spare, not even 5 for a visit to the lavatory. The clips automatically pop in the Discord. Yeah, I wanted to add something so that way you could see when like clips happen, and so that way people can go and check it out later if they're not here, or someone can see the best bits. It's not the edited down stuff which will arrive on YouTube and other places later, but it seems like a good thing to do.
Ask you, Your Honor, do you find anything wrong with my claim? So far it appears that your statue making was quite a difficult chore. I see nothing that could overturn your claim that you never left the stage.
The art room is only a few steps away! What's the plan? All I can think of is pressing him like crazy.
Hold it!
This Newman took over half a day. Can you please be more specific?
What a wonderful question. He's having quite a tough time, you see. Prosecutor Gavin's statue alone took her from morning hours into the evening. Well, it is a rather large statue. Don't be silly. I merely exposed the difference between student and teacher. I, however, finished most of the other statue between 7 and 30. What's the other statue? Okay, I've already gotten this one. Guess I concede. I couldn't hear you. Say it louder this time. I concede that Professor Means never left the stage. That's right. I was there on the stage the entire time. I couldn't have committed the crime.
I'm not going to give up here, though.
I'm afraid I have to side with the witness, and unless you have any further objections...
Objection!
Not yet. The defense still has an objection. Athena, you thought of something? Well, as I said, not yet. Oh, so it's time for illegal smoke and mirrors. Not yet, Athena. It's not time to quit. At this times like these, when you have to... Seems like there's no way out, that I have to turn the case upside down. Instead of focusing on whether Professor Means could have gone to the art room, I should focus on how he could commit murder without going there.
It seems the young lady has a real bona fide idea. But I'll use any means necessary, even casting stones, if it'll distract her. Who brought a bird to school?
Thanks, Donna. If I hear one word of your usual jibber-jabber, I'll have your head. The murder occurred in the art room, yet the witness was on the stage. How do you propose to fill the vast gap between these two key facts? If I accept the premise, the only other answer I got, something else wrong. Wait, that's it. Every last one of us made a huge mistake. We were totally wrong about... the murder weapon? What if we got the murder weapon wrong?
Really now, and what do you intend to label the murder weapon then? Perhaps you bludgeoned the victim to death with your duller than duller thinking. I'll give you a choice this time, either change your thinking or suffer a penalty.
I know I got something wrong. Okay, well... Can't be the suspect. Probably the crime scene. If Professor Means was on the stage the entire time, then he must be the killer. Ridiculous.
The defense has become utterly incoherent!
Objection!
No, it's just the murder wasn't committed where we thought it was.
Continue, Psych Stono.
Okay, the murder was actually committed here.
Take that!
The greatest riddle in the case is how the body was moved from the art room. But the murder occurred on the stage, which means the body was never moved at all.
silly girl. When the body was found, there wasn't a drop of blood on the stage floor.
There wasn't any blood on the stage. Really? If there was something on stage at the time of the murder, that's now blood-stained. Huh. That there is. It's true. There's no bloodstains on the stage floor. Scuttlebucks Bucks! No, I think you're I think you're thinking a bit too far in. But there was something on stage that did have bloodstains, and that would be this. The school banner. No blood would have gotten on the floor if this were under the victim when she was killed.
Oh my, that's quite a compelling story.
Silence!
What is it now? My theory makes perfect sense!
That was a pathetic attempt. You must put every inch of your body into your attacks.
The autopsy states the cause of death was a loss of blood. Yet only a trace amount was found upon the banner. Where did the rest go? Blood getting on there when the body was moved by wire makes more sense than not.
Very good, Simon.
Very good. Tell me, what's your first choice for higher education?
I'll write you the ultimate in recommendation letters. You'll be guaranteed to get in!
Objection!
Actually, the defense has something to explain that as well.
You do?
There was only a trace amount of blood on the school banner. There must have been something else the killer used to soak up the blood. All I have to do is figure that out. What soaked up most of it?
Take that!
This.
Why, it looks like there's some piece of fabric on top of the school banner.
It's the Gaviniers' banner that had been specifically made for the school concert. Since it was on top of the school banner, the blood would have hit it first. Could have easily absorbed most of the blood like a dishcloth, and only a small amount would have been soaked through to the school banner below. So it makes total sense for the school banner to only have a little blood on it.
So the banner absorbed the blood like a dishcloth.
Yes, that would explain it. The Gaviniers' pan was like a dishcloth? Surely it was at least towel quality.
Simon, don't just stand there. Do something!
Silence!
Sykes don't know. You are learning to wield the blade quite well. But how will you respond when I come slashing at you like this? The remnant of a large bloodstain was detected in the art room. Why would there be blood in there if the murder occurred on stage as you claimed? The bloodstain in the art room was faked. How? I'll tell you. All that was needed was something that could transport the blood upstairs. And that something was a piece of evidence that we just finished discussing. Killer used this to bring the victim's blood up to the courtroom. Accidentally.
Take that!
Think you'd stoop so low as to present mere garbage to this court?
It's only garbage because someone tried to destroy it by tossing it in the incinerator. That someone was most likely the killer seeking to get rid of crucial evidence. The killer used the wire to bring the blood-soaked Gavinier's banner to the art room. Then the blood was wiped onto the floor to complete the ruse. Makes perfect sense.
Order! Order! This is quite the development! To think the body was never actually moved! Hold it right there. The body must have been moved. How else could you explain the loud crash you heard during the mock trial?
If it wasn't caused by a body crashing into the statues, then what was it? I hadn't thought about that. That loud crash wasn't the body hitting the statues, then what was it? The knot in the school banner shows that something was carried along on the wire in it. So if it's true, I know what I have to find. Something that was in the art room before the murder and then on the stage after. The object that I'm looking for that was put down by the wire was the Lady Justice statue.
Take that!
statue!
I believe it was the statue that broke the other two. The other two, not Professor Court's body. The unique statue you see on the right, that's the pure white Lady of Justice from earlier. Professor Court accidentally broke it while she was polishing it the day before the mock trial, but she used her own unique artistic sense and technique to repair it as you see here. Nobody would have guessed that it was originally Lady Justice. Perhaps you are onto something. But why, pray tell, would anyone move the scrap heap relic into such a tedious manner? Excellent question, Simon. Keep them coming. You know why, but the fact that you won't acknowledge it shows how twisted you are. Lady Justice was moved during the mock trial. During that time, Professor Means was fabricating an alibi with his pre-recorded speech. If we consider the facts that Lady Justice was moved in order to interrupt the mock trial, Professor Means was trying to interrupt the mock trial, and that must be the answer. Then let me ask this, why would the professor want to interrupt the mock trial? I object, Your Honor, I object to how you always ask people questions. You should try thinking for yourself for once. Oh, I just had a thought. It involves a penalty and a smart alecky defense attorney. Try again! Ah! Okay, bit too hot for the britches. The real reason was to point us to the body. Professor Means used his pre-recorded speech to fake an alibi during the mock trial. He wanted to make it look like he couldn't possibly have moved the body. Moving Lady Justice was his way of pointing to us where the body was and cementing his alibi. Quite the persuasive argument. For a while there, I thought you weren't taking this trial seriously. Well done. Yeah. You. Got it. You should never underestimate me, Athena Sykes. Professor Means always means what he says and says what he means by all means. Fine then. Say it already. I'm waiting. The murder occurred the night before, but the body wasn't found until later that day. Countless students passed the stage until they met in the lecture hall for the mock trial. So answer me this. Why didn't anyone see the body that entire time? That can be explained by... If the victim was murdered on the stage and left there, the body would inevitably have been discovered. And of course, there'd be nowhere to hide the body upon the stage. Gets a crack on his face. The crack is getting bigger. We're cracking his facade. It's not good, Athena. Our claim is as close to being beaten to a pulp. I know, but we've come so far. Consider yourself schooled. I couldn't have possibly killed anyone. The killer is none other than Juniper Woods. It always has been, and it always will be. Just wait a minute. Poor Juniper. She must seriously regret having asked you to defend her. And to add insult to injury, you nearly had Hugh convicted for murder. Surely you haven't forgotten that little fiasco. Athena Sykes' attorney badge is just for show. Not only did you fail to defend your client, you also raised false charges against her friend! The fact he has a full fucking blackboard in this courtroom. Honestly, yeah, the fact that he can just bring that in here. You have no right to call yourself a lawyer. But if the trial proceeds in the same manner and ends the same way as the mock trial, would you not lose everything you've worked so hard to gain? Just have to make sure that doesn't happen then, won't I?
Don't tell me I failed once again. Failed to save someone near and dear to me. I've worked so hard to become a lawyer and even studied psychology. Has it all been for naught? Am I doomed to relive that all over again? Athena, what's wrong? Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Axelina, breathe. Not working. Everything's going dark. After all I've done, this is how it ends? Forgive me, Junie. I couldn't protect you like I said I would. You leave Athena alone, man! She's the one who saved me! It was because of Athena that I could stop hiding and start living my life as a girl again. And she saved my friendship between Hugh and Juniper, and I think you're an awesome lawyer, Athena, one of the best. But I raised false charges against you. And that's not all. I've done some seriously unforgivable things. Objection! What's the big deal? False charges are nothing to be scared of. And I'm not even mad at you. I should really be thanking you. You use legitimate means to expose my wrongdoings and give me a chance to re-examine what's important. But what does it matter if I can't save Juniper? I mean, the whole reason I've come so far is... It's not over yet, Athena! Even now, at this very moment, I still believe in you! Junie? I know you better than most people, Athena. And I know you'd never surrender to the dark age of the law like that professor did. Thank you, Junie. I feel like I can barely breathe. I don't know what to do.
Silence!
Stop your bleeding this instant. You look like an utter fool. Prosecutor Blackquill? There's one who awaits you, is there not? And that is the reason you've studied so very hard. Are you prepared to give up on all that you've worked for thus far? It would not do to have you disappoint you know who. You're wasting your time. You have nothing on me. No evidence or anything else to establish my guilt. You are as helpless before the might of lawyers for whom the ends justify the means.
Objection!
Don't worry, Athena. You're doing fine. The truth will always win against people like him. But Apollo, what am I supposed to do now? Listen, all you have to do is take a deep breath and look back over the entire case. If there's truth to be found, and there always is, you're sure to find it. Now let me see you smile. Remember what Mr. Wright said. The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. Thanks, everyone. You don't have to worry about me now. The worst of times are when we have to force the biggest smile. Athena Sykes is psyched and ready to rock. Prepare for your utter defeat. Here we go. Professor Court wasn't killed in the art room. She was killed right here, where her body was found. We know this because there wasn't any time to move the body there from somewhere else. That means the body had to have been hidden somewhere on stage until it was found. Let's think along the lines and see where it takes us. First up, when did Professor Means remove the body from the hiding place?
What was he doing right before the body was discovered? He was using the span of time to fake the alibi he created, to move the body where it would be more easily spotted. Therefore, the only time Professor Means could have removed the body from its hiding place was before the mock trial. No, Hugh testified that he saw it before, but it turned out he was lying. The appearance of the body had to coincide with the time covered by the professor's alibi. During the mock trial. It was during the mock trial, specifically while Junie wasn't there. Junie was in charge of audio, no. Had to be during the speech. Professor Means moved the body to an easily seen location during his long pre-recorded speech. The professor also moved something to the stage that wasn't there before, specifically the white statue. During the mock trial, Professor Means wrapped the White Lady Justice in the school banner and sent it zipping down the stage with a crash, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. He drew attention to the body and made it look like the murder occurred in the art room. But was there anywhere to hide the body on that stage? Doesn't seem likely. No, there had to be someplace. Wait a second. How about something that should have been finished but was only mostly done? Something that was used to cover the body up, but it didn't draw undue attention because it looked like it belonged there. If there was... In that way, no one would suspect that there was a body hidden inside. What was already on stage and capable of concealing the body, that was the right statue. The body was hidden by the right statue, and it was never actually finished. The body was wrapped under some cloth to hide it, what was really inside, cleverly disguising it as the boss's statue. Miss Newman gave up on the right statue, yet Professor Means finished it in a single night. Yes, what an impressive feat that was.
Objection!
No, his so-called work of art deserves none of our praise. That's because it was only a facade to hide the real work. The murder of Professor Court. Come again? I'm afraid I don't follow. He hid the body by making it look like the statue of Mr. Wright. With the body wrapped under a piece of cloth, it looked just like a statue. What? Wait a second. Now this is getting interesting. No, this is getting preposterous! Nobody may speak but me! How would you do such a thing even be possible?
Objection!
We'll never know until we try. Uh-oh, I think I know where this is going. Okay, Apollo, time to turn me into a reasonable likeness of Mr. Wright. I'm going to pose like a statue, like so. Now I want you to wrap me up in cloth so that I may look like a statue. I hate to ask the obvious, but where am I supposed to get this magical cloth from? Did someone say magical? I'm afraid that isn't the right color, Mr. Justice. Well, given how sudden the request was, it's kind of the best I could do, Your Honor. All right, I think that about does it. Well, what do you think, everyone? Do I look like a statue of Mr. Wright or what? Looks like some random person to me. Weren't the statues a pair of busts? Phoenix Wright has that spiky hair on the back of his head. Forget the hair! The statue's head is way bigger than your average person's anyway. Gotta hand it to me for trying anyway. Wait, that's it! The hands! Her arms are raised over her head. There are dark bruises around her wrists. Yeah, the professor was probably tied up with something. The marks on her wrists indicate she had been tied up. Apollo, tie me up in a new pose. Wait, you're not into this kind of thing, are you? Wait, What? No! Besides, it was your idea. Just tell me how to tie your hands already. Professor Court's wrists were tied together, and I can't help but think it's related. How should I arrange myself to match the shape I want, given her hands were tied? Not the objection pose. Behind the head? See? It makes it possible to fake the spikes on the back of Mr. Wright's head. Sure, but then what about the statue's arms? With both arms behind your head, you can't exactly complete the pose. Yeah, it would be awfully hard to make an objection pose like that. I can't help but think you're forgetting something, Athena. Something on the body that you don't have right now. What did the victim's body have that I don't? The arrow. Right, there was an arrow sticking out of her side. Okay, Apollo, take that and plunge it into my side, and don't do that! Are you crazy? Fine, I'll go get some duct tape. Rapido, Schnell! Alright, I don't need to know other languages to know bossy when I hear it. Fatal arrow to the side. Spiky hair created by 2 hands. A masterpiece in the making. Now cover me with that cloth. But remember to make the arrow stand out. I'm so confused. The arm's too short. Shh, remember your indoor voice here. Nobody's buying it. The arrow's nowhere near long enough. But what else could you use for the arm? Still won't give up, eh? I must condemn you, if only for your spirit and determination. Is the piano back in town? Of course she's not giving up. After all, she put me through this. She owes me an explanation, and one that makes sense. Ad time, no. Doubly painful. Yikes, I guess I better get it right this time. We gotta wait. We win. We got ads, and so we wait for the ads to be over because we respect our time. Sorry, I had to check out something. If the piano came back and you need a translation, just say the words, I didn't catch the word. They said Schnell, and they also said Rapido, where they were mixing, like my girl Athena Sykes, quite literally, it just knows a lot of languages, and so it just pops in random words whenever. And it's not even them claiming being like switching around, it's just them just throwing them in because they can. Oh, God. Just a bit longer and then the ads will be over. Then we can finish this crazy trial. I see, I understand. Ads are over. Guess I gotta get it right this time. Murdered when they were stopped on stage to see Professor Means. If it wasn't premeditated, he must have used something close at hand. Apollo, show me those stage setup photos again. Like what, right now? Okay.
Take that!
Got it. This is absurd. There's no such thing in this photo. Don't play dumb with me, Professor. It's the staff you have right there. Everyone fails except me. This is the spear of a great legal warrior. Whatever. Just hurry up and lend it to me. The length is perfect. Mr. Wright couldn't possibly object to such an obvious arm. Okay, go for it, Apollo. Sure, I'll give your arm a hand. Cloth and binding coming up.
Objection!
It's Phoenix Wright! Look! It's that famous lawyer! That's definitely him. I'd know that pose anywhere. We did it. Didn't we? Well, I'm not the spitting image of the legendary Phoenix Wright. The man who will bring us out of these dark ages and into an area of brilliant golden light. Golden light. All I see before me is the pink specter of a man. That's just because Mr. Wright likes his statue. He's positively tickled pink. Get it, Apollo? He's tickled pink. That joke deserves a pink slip. Oh, it seems the gallery is quite impressed with the defense's sharp thinking. And the witness? The resemblance is nothing more than coincidence. Did you just make a joke about the Golden Age? He did.
Objection!
Because currently we're in the Dark Age. Not so fast there, Buster. Unfortunately for you, I can prove my theory to be more than mere coincidence. To prove that his spear was thrust into the victim, all I have to do see if it's a staff or a spear. The spear might actually be a staff. You know nothing. What's that supposed to mean? Spears are far more dashing than staves. Well, that's a very interesting. It has little, if anything, to do with the issue. Okay, fine. I guess I could check for blood. Not like you could. I would have assumed someone would have, like, deep cleaned that, you know, found a way, you know. If someone has had something in their possession literally since the thing happened, you think they would spend every moment they could getting it as clean as possible. We assume the victim's jagged wounds came from an arrow, but the wound came from a spear instead, then we should be able to detect trace amounts of the victim's blood on it. Your Honor, a brief recess, if you will. But by any means possible, what if I get rid of my spear? Wait, what if I burn it? What's wrong with a non-guilty verdict? If I do that, I'll be found innocent. If I'm yes, I'm innocent, I tell you.
Objection!
Surely you don't expect us to take lectures from you now. Now I ask you in the gallery, help me decide the professor's fate. Oh, bathroom detail? No, we take the bar exam, 30% salary cut! Dismissal? No.
Oh,
Why does he have a mohawk? Why not?
Prosecutor Blackquill, what has become of our witness, Aristotle Means? It's as Sykes Dono suspected. Blood was detected on his staff. He was admitted for the heinous crime. All of it. He shall join us in the clink tomorrow. His teaching skills will be put to good use.
Great, he'll teach felons that the ends justify the means. So much for rehabilitation.
Can I ask what the professor's motive was? I could barely make out a word he said on account of that he shattered his teeth.
We finally got him.
One of Blackwell's fellow inmates once was a surgeon. Why not a former dentist, too? I eventually had him put pen to paper. It turns out Professor Means was the one taking bribes. The victim had suspected him after a report from the class snitch. That led her to question him at length that day of the killing, right there on that stage. The result, the heinous crime that was brought before the court. Seems he came up with a plan to stab the victim with her own awl in order to make the killing look like the one in the script and thus frame the defendant. The scrap of paper with Hugh's name had the same mark as Professor Court's planner. About that, those planners are bestowed upon the student graduating top of their class. Really? So then... Indeed, once upon a time, Professor Means was also awarded the same notebook. The handwriting is being analyzed now, but like it or not, the scrap belonged to him. This, too, was evidence of the bribery scheme that the victim had obtained. No, the Constance court was clean, and that only Aristotle Means took bribes. To think a professor would murder a colleague, then try to pin it on a student. If this is the dark age of the law, then we can only hope for a brighter future. And the first step is to hand down my verdict for a promising young lady. This court finds the defendant, Juniper Woods, not guilty.
I'm so happy. What a lovely time.
I wish you all the best on your road to becoming a courtroom judge. We will need young people like you, if we ever hope to restore the law to its former glory.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll work as hard as I can. Maybe one day I'll be able to work with you all and make a difference.
Proudly serve Professor Court's memory. Do not let her death be in vain. That's the last thing I expected to hear from him today. Court is adjourned.
Thank you, Senna. I really mean it. It's nothing really.
Fun fact, Term's computer is called the Pebble because it rocks. Either that or because it crumbles under pressure.
You know, I would like to say that you're wrong, but that literally happened today, so... I mean, I can't even lie. I can take this biggest tangled mess of a case and unravel it like that. I don't know. You look pretty wound up there in the end, literally and figuratively. You look pretty hungry for a knuckle sandwich, Buster. I wanted to thank you too, Apollo. Don't mention it. The way you were always there for Thenna when she was in a bind. And at the detention center, where your smile gave me the hope when there was none. It was like the warm rays of sunshine shining down on peaceful woodlands. I think you're an absolutely amazing person. Thanks, Juniper. That means a lot to me. But I still got a lot of work to do, and I can't wait until I see you on the judge's bench. I promise you I'll get there someday. That's why until that day, I'll... Guys, I got some big news, and I mean this is huge. Oh, am I interrupting something? No, it's okay, I think. So, what's the big news? The school festival, it was supposed to have been canceled after what happened, but... We just got a call. In memory of Professor Constance Court, who worked so hard to make it happen. The festival is being extended one extra day until tomorrow. Really? All right! And then they all went to the festival and had a fun time.
We've got a special treat for all of you. A love letter for Themis Legal Academy.
Oh my god, that's
it's
your
time for the
voice.
Guitar Serenade.
October 27th, Themis Legal Academy. 3F Lecture Hall. Wow, that was so much fun! School festivals are amazing. I think you and Robin are getting a little carried away. Your singing voice, Juniper, could melt my H-E-A-R-T! Why did Phoenix look like a dad right there? I mean, I know he is one, but still. He's gotta be. He just always looks like it. Like, they kept a lot of things about Phoenix in the updated games. They were like, yeah, he deserves to look just a tiny bit, you know what's even better? You see that gold chain there? You know what's on the end of that? On the end of that is a locket with his daughter, Trucy. That's canon. Just remember the objection pose is all about attitude. Oh, and congrats on the mock trial win, although Robin had you for a while there. I did, didn't I? But I'm just glad we're back to how it used to be. Thank you, Athena. You know what? I think I'll stick with becoming a prosecutor after all. And I'm gonna make up for the mock trial loss by winning the real deals in court. Mock trial loss? What loss? Wait, did they reprise the trial and Hugh won? Level-headed lawyer course genius and hot-blooded prosecutor course student will go head-to-head in a mock trial battle for the She-Devil's Black Heart. So does that mean it's really gonna happen? Juniper, there's something I've been meaning to tell you. Huh? Who? Is he gonna do what I think he is? Juniper, can we still be friends? You know, like, best friends like we always been. Huh? Best friends? Hey, weren't you going to profess your love for Juniper if you won the mock trial? No! I was going to confess that I'm not a genius and that I'm really 25 years old, but you already dragged it out of me during the trial. Whoops! I listened to my friend ramble about the games after all. Uh-oh. Me too? Miriam's got the tactical espionage action stuff down to a science. I've been thinking. It's up to us to put an end to the Dark Age of the Law if we can. Let us work together to usher in a new age where winning only results from the truth. And the ends never justify the means. Count me in! I wouldn't have it any other way. Best friends forever, huh? No matter what anyone says, nothing beats true friendship. You bet. Now what about you, BFF Apollo? Aren't you a bit old to be using that word? But yeah, he's the best friend a guy could have. Which reminds me, we're supposed to meet up and gossip about the new girl in the office. Hey, no talking about me behind my back! What kind of guy is he anyway? Well, if I had to describe him in one word, it'd be loud. Yeah, loud. So after some slight arm twisting, Apollo promised to bring me to meet his friend. Unfortunately, that promise was never meant to be fulfilled. Oh. For not long after, their friendship was mercilessly severed by fate. And the bonds between us began to fray and unravel as well. Sorry. Even now, those words continue to ring in my ears. The discord in our ever-cheerful Apollo's voice made him sound so cold and distant. Why, Apollo? That's the good one. Yes, of course we're gonna save. And of course I gotta show like the start of the next one. The cosmic turnabout. We gotta know. The courtroom bombing incident. A terrible attack launched by the will of a madman. That incident perfectly symbolized the state of the legal world in this dark age of the law. Mr. Wright brought it to a resolution of sorts. Ted Tonate was discovered to be the one responsible for the bombing. Only it were that simple. Somehow I can't help but think. That there's a darker influence at work. One that's lurking in the shadows, waiting. That's why I want to review the trial that was taking place when the bombing occurred. After all, it's got more than a few personal stakes in it. Episode 4, Cosmic Turnabout.
One hour remaining until launch. Please begin your final equipment check.
Hell yeah.
Check complete. Everything's A-okay. We're ready here whenever you are.
Talk about speaking too soon.
Come in at 2. Come in. Do you copy?
November 16th, 9:12 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Or 5, sorry. Time for another trial to begin. This one's different. Sorry to bother you, but... Are you alright, Apollo? I was making a scary face just now. Hi, Juniper, yes, I'm fine. I was just doing my Chords of Steel exercise. Now I'm ready to go! I know you, but I'm sure you'll be just fine. Oh, I brought you a present from my garden. Is this the lotus root? That's right, my grandma says lotus root is good for your eyes. She even says that if you look through the holes, it can help you see into the future. It's for good luck. Maybe later you can cook it and... Thanks for this! I'm gonna have some right now! Oh my! That's kind of tough though. You can't eat it raw, but... Thank you for the enthusiastic try. Oh, she didn't think me weird before, she will now. I gotta calm down! Apollo, I'm sorry I'm late. Hi, Athena. Judy! I didn't know you were coming today. Did you come to cheer Apollo on? Oh, I get it, you sly little thing. Athena, stop! Quit kidding around, Athena. The trial's about to start any second. Is everything all set? Oh, Apollo, Apollo, when will you ever figure it out? Figure out what? Wow, that was the longest sigh I've ever heard. You're Larry, aren't you? So, yep, you're Larry. That's all you had to say. This is it. It's all over for me. They're gonna find me guilty for sure. This is our client, one Mr. Solomon, Soul Starbuck. So you're not Larry. I don't believe it. He's a very famous astronaut who happens to be an acquaintance of mine. You wouldn't know it right now, but he's actually very upbeat and driven. The scene of the crime scene happened at the Cosmos Space Center. Back in high school, my best friend and I went there almost a little too much. But that's where I met Mr. Starbuck. We'd ask about space travel, and he'd launch into stories about after story with so much passion. Back in those days, the man was 100% my hero. Are you sure you're okay with being my lawyer, Apollo? Of course I'm sure. I know you, Mr. Starbuck. I know you're not the type to commit murder. Thanks, but... I was supposed to be in space right about now. He's so depressed, it almost seems like an act. The launch getting called off must have been a huge shock. I'll probably never get the chance to go into space again. Don't say that! Don't stop believing! Besides, you just have to go into space again. I don't think I could face Clay in the afterlife if I just rotted away in a cell. Clay Terran. I can't believe he was murdered. I mean, he was such a promising astronaut under your command. Yeah, he was a good guy. Always there to pick me up when I was down. No one loved life as much as him, that's for sure. Always full of energy, telling me, "You're fine, Mr. Starbuck." How could something like this happen to a guy like him? Never seen Mr. Starbuck so down. Clay's gone and I'm going to prison. Wish I could have burned up like a shooting star right now. Mr. Starbuck, you'll be fine. What is it? What's with the yelling? I'll get to the bottom of this today. You'll see. In exchange, I want you to go back into space for you and Clay. Promise? Does that mean you have lots of evidence to prove my innocence? Oh, well, about that, let me just check my court record real quick. Holy shit, we got nothing! Oh, God! Oh, no! Yeah, we'll be fine! We didn't get to investigate the area as much as I would have liked, thanks to the police. I'm done for. I'm a goner. Everyone thinks I did it. Thought it was gonna soar like a comet. I'm just gonna crash like a meteorite. No, don't say that, Mr. Starbuck. Don't count yourself out yet. I know it's hard to lose a teammate, but you gotta keep going. You're fucked, my dude. Could you excuse me 1 second? Drags Athena over to the court. Athena, we are so fucked. What about you, Apollo? What about me? I was just thinking, wasn't Clay your best friend? We need to focus on the trial right now. Are you ready to go? Apollo? Trial's about to begin, and the defense would please proceed to the courtroom. Okay, here we go. This is it. This is the one trial I can't afford to lose. For Clay's sake and our clients, I will find Clay's killer. And with that, we will, of course, be ending here. Because I don't, you know. We gotta stop here. We do. We just gotta. It's been a hot minute. Defense is ready, Your Honor. What happened to your eye? Oh, that was something from earlier. Okay. Well. We'll go ahead and exit. Because we've been going for like 5 hours. Even, yeah, basically. We'll start. A minute? It's been 6 hours. Yeah, that's a hot minute. Hello?
Looks is at you.
Yeah, looks is at me. I'm quite literally ending right now, my man.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm doing this.
I'm literally ending right now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I'm just doing this for the bit.
Getting looks is at. Their looks is at me.
Yeah, I'm looking at you with my big old eyes.
Oh God, let's find someone to.
It's chug time. Down that water, Lotto man.
How fucking dare you? How fucking dare you?
Also, while term is drinking water, I just want to say, hey, chat. Term's really cool, and you guys.
Too late, motherfucker. Really cool. Too late, motherfucker. You've trained me to do that shit fast. I'm getting you out of here before you can say anything. Where's the fucking voice chat? Where's the voice chat? There's. I'm taking too far long to find this. Fuck, where is it? Fuck, why did I reorganize my server? God damn it. Okay, they're gone. Oh, God. We got him. We got him, boys. Alright. Who do I raid you guys into? Who do I raid y'all into? I was killed. Okay. You know who I'll send you to? I'll send you to Shark-Sided. I see a lot of. I saw a lot of stuff. I saw a lot of. I've seen like Kota Blicky do this a lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and raid Shark-Sided because they have a really cool model. Kind of per Walter term. Too late. Too late, fucker. You all enjoy your time. You can't bat me because I'm not in that model anymore. You can't do shit. If you do want to support me, though, you can do so by checking us out all over the socials. You can get yourself some merch if you would like. You can watch, you know. Have a wonderful day. I hope I will enjoy it. I promise. I need to get some stuff for this. This can't be the end. 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 Had to say what little time had gone away. Glue it all back anyway. I'll glue it all back anyway.
Like the wing
A sparrow or a plane dropped down a couple feet. To catch the wind that still remains, but I'm left breathless anyway. The world ended in March until I heard the doorbell ring. Don't think you're standing in the dark, and I'll light up everything again. Can't see the end.